Hi guys, welcome to my channel SAP Lobby. Today we'll discuss on the material requirement planning. So before we start our session, those who did not subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel. So it will encourage to create the more and more informative videos. Okay, let start the session. So before we talk about the material requirement planning, how it work in the SAP, let's understand the basic functionality of material requirement planning. So I'll take a simple example of a pen. So to produce a pen, basically we need the three part uh, pen cap. So pen cap and then pen top and pen body. So we need one pieces of each part to assemble a pen. Okay. Suppose there is a requirement of 10 pieces. Okay. So and for pen cap we have already the stock of 5 pieces. Pen top we have already the stock of 10 pieces, and pen body we have the stock of 2 pieces. Okay, so based on the requirement of pen requirement that which is like 10 pieces, where the requirement is 10 pieces. So here MRP will help to calculate to check the existing stock of each part, and also what is the net requirement of those part. Net requirement means like what is the requirement and what is the exist stock. So difference between stock and requirement, that is the net requirement. So in this case pen cap have already stock of 5 pieces. So now we need 10 pieces of pen cap to produce a 10 pieces of pen. So we there is net requirement of 5 pieces more. Okay, because already we have 5 pieces, so we need 5 pieces more to complete the production of 10 pieces of pen. Okay, in case of pen top we don't need, because already we have the 10 pieces of stock, so we don't need pen top. In case of pen body, as we have only the 2 pieces of stock, we need 8 pieces more to produce the 10 pieces of pen. Okay, so this is one functionality of basic functionality of MRP. Second thing, like MRP also help to predict when these 10 pieces of pen will be available. Okay, I mean based on the time you give the input to produce one pen, so based on that input MRP also help to calculate how much time you need, or when these 10 pieces pen will be available. Okay, so this is the basic functionality of MRP. Hope you got the got the how MRP works. Okay, if you have any queries, please put in the comment box, so that I will try to reply to that queries. Okay, now we'll go to the next slide. Now the overview of MRP in SAP. Uh, in SAP, when we run the material requirement planning, it takes input from the demand. So it take the input from demand and date, requirement date, like when. So demand here, like it will be like either you got from your customer how much customer need, or suppose you before you get the customer demand, you are producing some material. So what is your forecast requirement? Okay, so those are called as demand. Then requirement date, when you need that material, and what is the existing stock of the material, and what is the product structure. Product structure means like what are the below level material, like what is the raw material or what is the sub assemblies need for to produce that finished material. Okay, or the parent material. Okay, so and like what are the operations or activities you need to produce that material. So those are the other part of the product structure. And receipts, suppose you have already some receipt, means like receipt is like your plan order, purchase requisition, production order, purchase orders, all those are called as the receipts. So which MRP elements, like these production order, purchase order, plan order, all those are help to increase the stock of material. So that's why those are called as receipt. Okay, so when you run the material requirement planning in the SAP, so it takes input from all these vectors like demand, requirement date, stock, product structure, receipts, all those input take. Once it got all these input, then material requirement planning, that engine will process all those information. Then it suggests if the metal need more receipts or not, and then also it will be help to schedule, like when it start, it should production should when production should be start, when it should be end, all the scheduling, it help to do the scheduling. And dependent requirement, then it also help to create the dependent requirement. So dependent requirement means like suppose you have the lower level materials or raw materials you need to produce that material. So MRP also explored those lower level material and create the requirement for that material. So those requirement for lower level material is called dependent requirement. Okay, and MRP also help to do the planning for the lower level material. And then capacity requirement, like how much total time capacity or time required for that to produce that material. So that capacity uh, requirement also calculated by the MRP. Okay, hope this is clear as the clear for clear. Okay, so if you look at one more graphics here, in MRP, get the input from your independent requirement. Independent requirement means like that is plan in SAP, it is called plan independent requirement, PIR. Like suppose you, when you are doing the requirement for forecast based requirement, then you create the PIR, plan independent requirement, or if you have any sales order, okay, customer order. Okay, so all those demands are input to the MRP. So MRP then do some kind of uh, process that information. Then it create the if need, it create the plan order for the material, and that plan order create the demand dependent requirement for the below level materials. And those dependent requirement also processed by the MRP, and it create the plan order if required. Okay, and like also like if you see, there is a capacity planning, capacity planning, and also this that plan order can be suppose can either can convert to the production order, or it can convert to the purchase requisition or purchase orders. Okay, or if you are material is have some scheduling agreement, so this scheduling agreement also MRP help to create a schedule line out of that scheduling agreement. Okay. So this is the overview of functionality of MRP in SAP. Okay. Now let me go to the next slide. And this is the transaction code of for MRP. MD01. MD01 is the transaction in SAP which run at, it can be run at plant level or at MRP area level. Okay, so this is the MRP MD01, and MD02 it can be run at the metal level, and it is called as single item multi-level. Okay, then MD03 it also can run at metal level, and it is the single item single level. So difference between MD02 and MD03 is, like in MD02 when you run the MRP, it will explode the below level of material. Okay, and also it plan below level of material. But in case of MD03, it will be planned only for that metal for which you are running MRP. Okay. Then next one is MD01N. MD01N is the MRP live in as for HANA. So there are some difference between MD01 and MD01N. So in future I will create one more video to understand the difference between the classic, I mean MD01 is called as classic MRP. Okay, so and MD01N is MRP live. So what is difference between this classic MRP and MRP live? So I'll in future I will prepare a video. Okay. There we'll discuss more on this difference. Okay. Then MD50 is to do the planning at sales order level. MD51 to do the planning at the project level. Then MD04, that is one of the reports, stock requirement list. Okay, so all the stock and all the requirement, all the receipts we can see in the MD04. MD05 is the MRP list. So once you run the MRP, that result will be appear in the MD05. Okay, so it will also appear in the MD04, but the MD04 is the dynamic while MD05 is static. So any changes after MRP, if you do any changes, yeah, before MRP, whatever you changes do in the demand or stock of the material, so all those will reflect in the MD04, but that will not reflect in the MD05. In MD05, it will be only MRP result will be reflect there. Okay, so let me go to SAP. I'll show you all the transaction codes. MD MD01. So here this is scope of planning. Scope of planning, suppose here if you want to run the MRP for multiple plant, we can create a scope of planning, and there we can add all the plants you want to run the MRP, and that scope you can add so that MRP can run for those all the plants at one time, at one time. Okay, or you can run at the plant. Now then the processing key, there will be parameter processing key, and these are the parameters. Okay, we'll discuss once we go through all the transactions, then we'll discuss on the MRP parameters. Okay, so these are the some functionality for exit. Like suppose you are running at MRP at plant level and you want to restrict the your MRP run for particular material or some other parameters, then you can use this exit key, and this is the small enhancement. This is standard enhancement need to be do in the system. Okay, so this is the MD01. Then I'll show you MD02. In MD02, this is the single item multi-level. Okay, so it have either you can run the at MRP area or plant. Okay, and processing key, all these parameters are there. Okay, and here like a box plan unchanged component means like suppose you want to consider the component which has not undergone any changes for its demand, so that you can check the tick box. And this is the before you save the MRP result. If you want to check the result, if you can check this one, this tick box. Okay, display result be prior to saving. Okay, and then display material list. So it will be show all the material list which has undergone the planning. Okay, and this is the simulation mode if you want to run simulation mode. Okay, so this is the about MD02. Okay, now in MD03, so this is the single item single level. Okay, so it has also same parameters. Okay, but it is only from planning perspective it is single item single level. Okay, then MD50. So this is to run at planning at cell sorter level. If you want to run this planning at cell sorter, this is MD50. Okay, now MD51. So in MD51 you can run the MRP at project level. Okay, now MD04. So in MD04 you can get all these requirement receipts and all these quant stock. Okay, and if I open MD05 parallelly, so if you look at this material is same, but MD04 result, I mean in the MD04 information and MD05 information is different, because MD05 if you look at it's written as MRP list as of this date 18 April, means the last MRP run I was run for this material at the 18th April, so that result is reflecting here. But after that there are some changes happened to this material, but those are reflecting only in MD04. Okay, so this is the difference between the MD04 and MD05. So MD05 is the static while MD04 is dynamic. Okay, so this is all about the MD04 and MD05. Now we'll talk about the MRP parameters. So here first the processing key. So in ECC we have the three processing key: net change in planning horizon, and regenerative planning. But in case of HANA, that regenerative planning is not there. This is two processing key. One is net change and another net change in planning horizon. So net change means like suppose whatever material have the demand or demand of material undergone any changes, any there is any modification in the demand of material. Okay, or any MRP relevant changes happen to the material, MRP will consider only those material which undergone the changes in the demand or new demand or any MRP related changes. Okay. Next one is net change in planning horizon. So for each plant, we generally maintain some planning horizon. So within that horizon, whatever metal undergone the changes for the demand or MRP relevant changes, MRP will consider only those material. Okay. And regenerative planning, which is in the ECC. So regenerative planning, it will be consider all the material irrespective of whether it has undergone changes or not, but it will consider all the material. Okay, so these are the three different processing key, and these are the functionality of those processing key. Okay, next is purchase requisition. So it has three options. One is purchase requisition, another purchase requisition opening period, and plan order. So suppose you choose purchase requisition, so or purchase in opening period, and in case you are using the opening period, then system will consider that opening period and it will create the purchase requisition. If you choose one, then it will create only the create the purchase requisition for external procured material. If for external procured material, instead of creating plan order, directly it will create a purchase requisition. And for the manufactured material, in-house manufactured material, it will create the plan order. So if you choose three, even though it is external procured material or it is manufactured material, for all the material, it will create the plan order. Okay. But if you choose the purchase requisition, then it will create purchase requisition for the external procured material, but the plan order for the manufactured material. Okay. Then schedule line, so it help to create the schedule line. Suppose you are using the uh, scheduling agreement or scheduling agreement for material, so it will help to create all those schedule lines. Okay, so here like two or three options, like you want schedule line no and then schedule line opening period. If you want to consider the opening period, this is the second option. And if you want to create only schedule lines, okay, so that is the third option. Then MRP list. So here we have the three options. One, it should create the MRP. First one is MRP list. Second option, if you have any message generated during for the MRP result, then it will update the your result in the MRP list, means in MD05. Okay, and if no MRP list, means you don't want any MRP result in the MD05, then it will not create with third option. Okay, then planning mode. So it has also three options. If you choose one, then here what happened, for the lead time it will not consider your routings. Okay, routings, it will only take all the lead times from your metal master, and it will do the planning. Okay, if you choose two, then here it will be explode your bomb, and it will explode your routing. Okay, and it will do the planning. In case of three, delete and recreate planning data. So here it will be, suppose you have already some plan orders are there, so it will be remove all the existing plan order and it will create the new plan order. It will re-explode your bomb and routing and it will create the new plan order. Okay. Then scheduling. So here two options are there. For first option, system will consider your data from your metal master. It will not consider only any delay or lead time from your routing. It will consider your metal master, and quickly do the planning. If you choose 2, then it will be take all the lead times and from the your routing, and it will trigger the capacity planning. Okay, and based on the lead time, it will be give you your production start date, end date, everything it will be updated. Okay. Okay, so these are the all the MRP parameters. Okay, and this controls your planning in the system. So in future videos, I will explain. I will create more and more videos where we'll see the demo how the MRP functions in the SAP, and what are the prerequisite parameters in the Metal Master, how to impact in the MRP. Okay, so we'll see in the future sessions. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe and like this channel to get more and more video. Okay. Thank you for watching.